Hi, Image Bola, your favorite fashion tutor. Welcome to Egypt Seams, where every stitch tells a story. Today, we're learning how to accurately read a tape measure for tailoring. It's a simple tool, but using it right is key to getting the perfect fit. Precision matters because when your measurements are off, your design is off. Stay with me as we break it all down, step by step. Like, share, and subscribe for more fashion tips. Let's get into it.
So I'm going to tell you why you need to know how to read your measuring tape as a tailor. It is very, very crucial. All those tiny lines in between each inch on your tape means something. I used to be guilty in the past by rounding up certain uh, decimals I get when I am trying to make garments, and in most cases it does not help me because at the end of the day the garments do not fit well on my client. It's either it's too loose or it's too tight. So if you are able to get and read your tape measure accurately, trust me, that problem will be a thing of the past. Also, it saves fabrics because you will not get to waste your fabrics when you are cutting more than what you should cut, and it builds your confidence as a designer. So let's go straight into this. Now I have already drawn out a bold diagram of how your tape measure looks like. You can see my 0 inch, which is the metal part of the tape, my 1 inch, and also my 2 inches. Then in between these whole numbers, we have some lines. These lines, they mean something. They are not just there for aesthetics. So here I am, I'm showing it to you. I would like you, if you have access to your tape measure, you can hold on to it and count along with me from the line after 1 inch. So I am counting towards the 2 inches. I have 8 lines there. These lines are the eight, they are the important lines in tailoring, guys. So here I've already replicated it on my paper. You can see there I have my 0 inch here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's how these lines go on and on and on and on to 60 inches and above that you have on your tape measure. So now we're going to assume this first line is 1 over 8. That is the first line after 0 inch. 1 over 8. So I'm just going to paint it well so you can see. So we have 2 over 8 fraction for the line next to that 1 over 8. This is how I'm going to be labeling it. 3 over 8 is the next line this way. So this one here we have 4 over 8. And mind you guys, these lines, they have names for it, what is being called. We'll go into that as we progress. So we have 5 over 8 for this line. After that, we have 6 over 8. Then we have 7 over 8. Then we have the 8 all over 8. So the next thing we're going to do is a little bit of calculation. We're going to be looking for the decimals of all these fractions. So after this stage, the next stage is to write out our fractions because we'll be doing a little bit of some primary school mathematical calculation, and we'll also be making use of our calculator as well. So I am doing this stage by stage so that you can be able to understand how the numbers are being derived. But the moment you already conversant with it, trust me, it's going to be so easy to make use of your tape measure. So after I've written this, the next stage is to look at each fraction to know if we can further break it down. So for 1 over 8, I'm still going to use my 1 over 8. For 2 over 8, I'll be dividing it 2 divided by 2, then 2 divided by 8. I have 1 over 4. For 3 over 8, we can't break it down to a smaller fraction, so I'm going to write it out. For 4 over 8, of course, we can break it down. 2 divided by 4, that's 2. Then 2 divided by 8, 4. We can further go ahead to divide the 1 over 4 to give us 1 over 2. That is half. Now for 5 over 8, we can't divide it into a smaller fraction, so we're going to write it out there. 6 over 8, yes, we can divide that. We divide by 2, that's 3. We divide 2 by 4, then 2 by 8, we have 4. That's 3 over 4. Then 7 over 8, we can't divide that into a smaller fraction, so we're going to be writing it out like this. Then 8 divided by 8, of course, we have one whole number. So now it's time to find our decimal digits for each fraction. This is where you're going to make use of your calculator, but if you're really good with mathematics, you can use your brain. So we'll go further to divide 1 over 8 into decimal decimal number. So 1 over 8 divided by 1 divided by 8, I mean, what do we have when you type it in your calculator? You have 0.125. So 1 over 4, when we divide that, we punch it out into our calculator, we're going to have 0.25. Then if we punch 3 divided by 8 in your calculator, you're going to have 0.375. Then when you punch 1 over 2, obviously you're going to have 0.5. That's if I'm not mistaken. Yes. So when you punch 5 over 8 in your calculator, you're going to have 0.625. Then we go further to punch 3 over 4 into our calculator. We're going to have 0.75. Then when you punch 7 over 8 in your calculator, you're going to have 0.875. 0.875. So our 1 still remains 1. So I'm going to be fixing our decimal point into the next lines on our tape prototype in order for you to understand better. So now let's fill it up together. This line here represents 0.125 inch, followed by 0.25 inch. This other line is 0.375 inch. Now this one at the center is 0.5 inch, followed by 0.67625 inch, then 0.75 inch, and lastly 0.875. Then we have a whole number there, that's 2 inches. So guys, I would want you to be conversant with all these inches in the center because they are very, very important. They might look small and tiny, but they really, really matter when if you want to get an accurate measurement and a perfect fit for your dress. So if you take some days to cram them, please do. It is very important. So let's practicalize what we've studied so far. Let's say I have a bust circumference measurement of 39 inches and I divided it by 4 because I am trying to, let's say, draft the pattern or shape out my dress. I'm going to have 9.75 inches. So in order for me to locate my 9 point accurate measurement of 9.75, let's assume this 1 inch whole number is 9 on our tape measure. Let's imagine it's 9 inches. Now, 7.5, where will I get 7.5 inches from? This is 7.5 here. So that is where I am going to mark on my pattern paper or my fabric. So that is 9.75. A lot of us, including me in the past, I am always guilty of rounding it up to 10 because I could not actually differentiate where my 0.75 is on my tape measure then. So, and at the end of the day, I have to start slim fitting the clothes again to my shape. But if you can get your accurate measurement on your tape measure to mark on your pattern paper or your fabric directly, trust me, you would have about 80% of accuracy, if not, in short, 90 to 100% accuracy for your garments. So let's take another example. Let's say I divided 3 by 2, that is 3 inches divided by 2, that is 1.5 inches. So where will I locate 1.5 inches? This is 1 inch already. Now my 1.5 will be at this 0.5 because if you add 0.5 to 1, that is 1.5. So that is where you are going to mark your measurement on your fabric or pattern paper. So let's make an assumption that 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 whole number is 7 inches, and I made a calculation that gave me 7.625 as a result. Where would you locate that on your tape measure? 7.625 inches. So there's my 7 inches on my tape. So 7.625 will be after 0.5. So one, we count it 0.125, 0.25, 0.375, 0.5, then followed by 0.625. So that is where our 7.625 would be. So the last example, let's assume we have 11.375 as our decimal measurement that we got. Now we're going to assume this is 11 inches here. Then our 11.375 will be this line here. You can see that is where you're going to mark on whatever you are measuring on. So I discovered another method in the spirit of being a mathematician. I discovered another method for to help us because I know how it can be. So this method is that we're going to use our 0.125 as the base number. It is the origin number. I call it the originator. So this 0.125, if you multiply it by 2, you're going to have 0.25. Yes, you're going to have 0.25. So if you multiply 0.125 again by 3, you're going to have 0.375. Okay. See, I'm just writing it beside it so that you will not be confused. 0.125 times 3 will give you 0.375. 0.75. When you multiply 0.125 again times 4, you're going to have 0.5. If you multiply 0.125 times 5, it's going to give you 0.625. If you multiply 0.125 again times 6, you're going to have 0.75. So if you multiply 0.125 times 7, you're going to have 0.875. Then if you multiply 0.125 times 8, you're going to have 1 inch. So let's say you can't remember where the numbers are, just remember that, okay, 0.125 is the originator number, then you multiply it by the number of inch lines you have there in order for you to get it. Finally, we've come to the end of today's tutorial. I really do hope that you gained a lot and you're going to repent from rounding up numbers to using the accurate measurements or calculations that you've gotten. Do not forget to like if you found this content useful so that others can be able to benefit from this as well. Do not also forget to subscribe and hit on your notification bell. Until my next tutorial, see you and have a lovely day.